Okay, because I'm at such a beautiful place, I'm little afraid to present what I'm going to present in the age of dissonance, in the age of divide. I do not want to talk about that at this place. But well, so, um, as we are currently noticing in the world that world is facing divide, conflict, and some places war. So it is inevitable that we remain unaffected by such conditions. Emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, economically, socially, politically, we are all being impacted by these conditions. But I see that it is actually, this is transitional phase because history has seen that such phases has come and gone. First World War, it happened, then we created League of Nations. Second World War happened, we created United Nations. And then this, this change brings us some new ideas, new way to survive. And with that, we come up with new solutions how to bring humanity back after losing people, their lives, their properties, their work, their countries, their lands, but again we come back. And with time, humanity tries its best to adjust and to maximize the benefit even from that situation. That is what humans are. But because we are here talking about business, so I will I'll come back to that. So during conflict, it is very difficult to have successful business. For business, we need peaceful environment because it needs creativity, it needs strategizing, it needs detailed, measured steps, and only in peace we can grow. So now we are seeing, as Pierre Koda, he is one of the theologian and philosopher from Sophia University, he says that we have entered into the new epoch. Maulana Wahiduddin Khan, he's a scholar from, he is no more, but he said, while in an interview, he said that we have entered into the new age. And in the beginning, yes, there might be a problem, but we see that new age will bring peace. We can hope for that because now we see that people are focusing on dialogue. They are learning how to come, across, how to build the bridges. So new eras in global economy are also emerging, such as AI, such as green economy, such as social entrepreneurship. So similarly, now we can, what I personally believe and what I have seen here, especially with the economy of communion, that faith fluency in business is also coming up. Although the previous experts, they said that actually religion or faith is the thing of past. In future economies and future societies, people will not be so much, focused. They will not focus on religion. But I think religion is back. Faith is back with the bang. We like it or not, we cannot ignore it. So it's better that we equipped ourselves. We prepare ourselves for that. So with change of times, we need to change our strategies also to survive. And with that, I was just discussing with Teresa that usually after the Industrial Revolution, people were asked to leave their faiths behind and come to offices and come to the industries or factories and work because their responsibility was not to think, not to feel, just to work. They had to check out their minds outside the office because there were managers who will think. That is manager's duty. But now we are seeing that people are more focusing on work-life balance, on what I feel, what I am, especially after Corona. I don't know, but whether I should say thank God, but every problem has a silver lining. Corona gave us time to think and sit and reflect. And I have seen so many businesses which emerged. Well, so many were gone down, but there have new ideas came up after that. So And especially with the new generation, Gen Z, after some time, they will be in the leading positions. And for them, their mental peace, what they think, what is their spirituality, how they are being inclusive in the workforce, it matters more. In fact, in the morning, I was reading this news, which says that for Gen Z, they will prefer not to work if they will not feel comfortable in their office, if they will not feel inclusive. So I think we need to change our strategy to have new kind of workforce to deal with that. And with that, I would say that lots of researches and evidences shows that there is a change in the marketplace. And maybe we have Dr. Brand, he will explain how, because he is into this field. And so I would say that many employees of all levels in all industries in all parts of the countries, they are increasing day by day, wish to live a holistic life. And 85% of the people still believe in some kind of religion. When they come to office, they leave their religion back, and then they come to office. So it is like we are forcing them to leave their half or maybe more than half of their self outside the office. It is like they are just being robots, without feelings, without faith, without values. So leaders are, they are realizing, yes, religion is back, faith is back. Now the question is not if religion is back. Now they ask question how we can include that. So we are here to present the answer how. Dialogue Code present that strategy, how we can bring that. So we provide basically at three levels. Number one is policy transformation, how we can strategize or renew the policies to include faith into the policies. Professor Derek Van Beaver from Harvard Business School, he says that my guess is that most companies don't have a written policy that articulates how to handle religion in the workplace in a way that's instructive for management. And around 15% of cases have been increased where the workers have come up to say that they felt discrimination, and they did file the case on the company. So it is very a loss thing for company also, because they have to pay to the employees also. So we focus on policy transformation. We help companies to transfer their policies, because in DEI, they do not include faith. They include gender, they include race, they include other things, but not faith. So I think it's a time that we do that. And of course, yes, CSR assistance, because especially in South Asia, I'm not sure about Singapore, but in South Asia, the CSRs, they focus on education, on child rights, on women rights. Well, they are important, of course. But if there be no peace, everything will collapse. So they are a little bit away from funding, to provide funding to NGOs, those who are working for peace. And then, of course, we provide tailored trainings and workshops. So how we do that? We do that at three levels. Number one is inner dialogue. That all the leaders, I think, especially if you look at, for example, Steve Jobs or maybe J.K. Rowling, so they have gone to certain point in their lives where they stopped and thought. So it is necessary to have an inner dialogue for every leader. So we talk about that. And then dialogue with team and within team, to understand our team's faith, what influences them, why they are in this team, what motivates them. Then dialogue with customers also. I would like to share a story of this photo. We were in Florence, and there is one place in Florence, they have very famous place for some burger or something like that. And that was non-vegetarian, and because I eat halal, so I was looking for a place where I could eat halal food. And there was this salesman. He was looking at me for so long, and then he came to me and my friends. He said, "Are you looking for something Muslim food?" I said, "Yeah, and I was, doubtful whether he knows what halal means. So he said Muslim food. I said, yeah, why not? Then he took me to his restaurant, and he offered me Napoli pizza that was vegetarian. So then it really, that experience really stuck to me, because I thought that he is faith fluent actually, and this helped him to bring me again and again. And after that, I used to go there several times. Yeah. So I think this is what I think, that this is the circle of unity. That at first, in the beginning, we must have inner dialogue within ourselves, then with our team, then with our customers, and also with our environment, which AgriCore and our paradigm and these things are suggesting. So this is what I think. This is the whole circle of unity: unity within our own self, unity with the people, unity with the God, and unity with the environment. So what are our principles? We do not promote any faith. We do not mix any religion. And of course, we do not convert, and we do not politics. Because, of course, I hope that you understand why. So our main focus is to embrace our diversities and equip individuals and companies with dialogue skills. So yes, actually I want to focus that we do not talk about only faith, but we focus on dialogue skills. That is more important. Yeah, thank you. But before I end, I would like all of you to scan this. It is a survey because we need your inputs and your suggestions, not exactly suggestions, but what exactly going on in the mind of leaders. So those who are leaders, I will request them to fill this survey. That will be very helpful for our research study, so that we can come up with new data, which will automatically help you to understand your teams, your companies, your work, and your customers.